Yeah, there's a lot going on here, isn't there?
Yes. The little stain that you can see on the floors where we do the breakfast club once a month at the big first Saturday of the month. If you're a motoring enthusiast, come along. We do bacon rolls from 9:30 till 10 o'clock, and then there's usually a theme talk that lasts about an hour.
Welcome to Nightfall Drives, Doug here, and today I'm taking the Lotus Evora S over to Allon White Sports Cars for its annual service and MOT. I thought it'd be a bit of a change from my usual Owner Stories series to bring you along for the experience, share what it's like running a Lotus. And while we're there, they've kindly said that I can have a little look around Allon White and see a little bit about what they do there. I mean, they're the world's oldest Morgan main dealer and a Lotus specialist. I'm lucky to live within half an hour, and they've been a great place to bring the car since I've had it. So yeah, it's nice just to record some of the day, have a few chats, show you around the dealership, and hope you enjoy the video. I think it's about the 5,000 or 6,000 mile mark since last year's service. A lot of that was down to Nice and Monaco, which I made a video on, and up to Scotland for the wedding, with some nice days out in between and trips out. So yeah, still really enjoying the car. And in terms of the service schedule, in terms of the service schedule, it's a 4-yearly cycle. When I booked it in, I remember it being A, B and C services with different levels of work being done, and just more things changed in the B and then even more in the C, all the fluids and everything. And when I booked it in, I thought, oh great, this is the big service, this is the C service, because I've done A and B the last two, so I'll be able to record everything. But it's a 4-year cycle, as I say. It goes A, B, A, C. So just a little service this year, and then next year's the big one. So this is Phil, sales manager at Allon White. Morning, Phil.
Morning.
Thanks so much for showing me around. I think the plan is we're just going to have a wander around, see what goes on at Allon White, I guess.
Okay.
I'll try not to be too distracted by the Nightfall Blue Exige at the front.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of nice examples out here. So we've got a 111R, which has got the supercharger upgrade on it, and it's also got a digital dash, which is quite nice, and one we've sold before. And low mileage, 16,000 mile Series 2 Exige. So this is the original bit of the building, dates back to the 1890s, used to be a cycle shop and agricultural equipment when it first started, when Allon White came back from the First World War. So the garage has been going since 1919. We used to have petrol pumps out the front, and you can see the old isolator up on the wall for the pumps.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You will see there's a few old antique items around the buildings as you go along.
Yeah, yeah, it's very interesting. And there's a lot of history here.
Yes, a lot of history. So we're a bit like Doctor Who's TARDIS, where we go through a small doorway and then it all spreads out, and I'll guide you through.
Lovely.
So this is Showroom 1. We're Morgan main dealers, so we tend to have our new car stock in here, all very, very late used. So we've got Morgan Roadster, 3,000 miles, one of the last ones registered, which is a 2021. 2 Super Frees.
Yeah, the new
green one being
3-cylinder.
Yep, so that's got the 1.5 Ford EcoBoost engine in it, but it's a non-turbo version. And then it's the latest generation 2023 plus 4. And that's got the BMW 2 litre.
And the automatic.
And
BMW.
this one's automatic. You can have manual or auto.
Yeah, oh, beautiful.
I have cars dotted all over the place.
It really is Narnia's closet, isn't it?
So lights on in here. So in here I've got Morgan Plus 6 at the back. That is a 2020 and has only done 500 miles from new.
And that's like it looks like a wide body.
It's slightly wider, yeah. So that's 335 brake horsepower. Automatic. It's got the BMW straight 6 in it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful colour as well.
Yep. Bentley Emerald Green, that one's in. We've got a Dove Grey plus 4 auto. The other one, that's actually graphite blue, they call it, with the tan interior. Yeah. And that one's done a couple of thousand miles as well.
Yeah, that's a lovely colour as well. It's reminiscent. It's taking me back to the old Euro '96 England kit for some reason. Grey blue. It's very, very nice.
Nice dark blue, so you'll be probably drawn to that. Well, after you, I know you like the dark blues. So this is a Roadster 3.7. It's got a detuned Mustang engine in it. So yes, you can always do your inner Route 66.
Yes, yeah. I'm quite keen to hear that starting up at some point. Hopefully someone's coming to look at it today.
This is a little 4.4. Under normal circumstances, the baby of the range, 1800cc with a Ford Z-Tech engine in it. This one's supercharged.
Oh, nice.
So it has that bolted on.
Yeah. Lovely.
So it produces about 150 brake horsepower now instead of 114, 115.
So this is the part of the workshop built in '39, which I imagine was then they were preoccupied with something else straight after that.
So yes, so this is what I refer to as the workshop showroom. I'm very original with my names for the different bits of the buildings. So yeah, this was the original workshop. We had a 4-post lift down at this end where the green one and the blue one was. The MOT bay was over to the right hand side, so we are an MOT test station. Obviously with the signage that we had out the front back in the day, we have up on the wall here, so you'll notice a part of that again, that history bit where there's old signage etc out there. It's quite nice when customers send in photos from the 60s and 70s with I've got a lovely one where there's like a Hillman Avenger out the front and old MGs, because we were doing Austin Morris cars into British Leyland up until 1980. Started doing Morgans in 1966. Eric White, which was Allon White's son, he had a Morgan, and then obviously people realised that he had a Morgan and brought their cars, and he had a garage, and then that's how that side of it continued. Under the old ownership, I was never allowed to take in anything else other than Morgans as part exchanges. There was a couple towards the end of the period, like a Mondeo that I took in and something else. But basically, the old chairman, it was like, no, we're Solus Morgan and that's all that should be on the premises. How times have changed. So John Bellinger bought the company in 2003. So the White family are still our landlords in the second showroom that you saw just a few minutes ago, but we now own this section. And John bought and changed the name from Allon White and Son, because obviously we could have been a butcher's or a furniture shop or whatever, with the Son bit. And then, funnily enough, it did go to daughter as well. And then John changed it to Allon White Sports Cars. We were approached by TVR, which we declined to see if we wanted to become a dealer for them. And then we were approached by Lotus a couple of years later, so around about 2004, 2005. Okay. And we've been doing Lotus ever since, as well as the Morgan side. Workshop split is roughly about 50-50. I would like more Lotuses in for sale. So it's probably an 80-20% split on those at the moment, but over the last 12 months we have been building more of the Lotus side up.
Including the historic models as well. So
yes,
I kind of assumed that you've been doing Lotuses for forever, but 2004 was quite recent. And
relative, mind you, it's still nearly 20 years now. So so about 20 odd years. And for our sins, we even do timing belts on V8 Esprits, which I know a number of garages will shy away from. We've got, in the lockups out the back, we've got a couple of old Allons, a couple of +2s. We did a restoration on a purple, well, it wasn't purple when it came in, a Lamb +2, where we got it to the stage in primer and where it could be trimmed up, and we sold it so a customer could do his own colour combination, and that was done in Cadbury's metallic purple. So very similar to the purple that Lotus used back in the day, but it's actually the true Cadbury's colour. Shame we didn't smell a chocolate, but there we go. That was all done and finished, and that was featured as a cover car and an article in Absolute Lotus just before the customer took delivery. He then had a mad moment and bought an Allon Sprint, bought that elsewhere, and we're doing a complete repaint on that, and that's been at the paint shop nearly 10 weeks now, because there's an awful lot of work to sort that out. When they took the paint off, they could then see how bad the tub was underneath. But that's going to look wonderful once it comes back.
Are they going to go for another chocolate themed colour?
No, that's just red and white, and he's keeping it as that, as a normal Sprint colours.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping you'd say he was going to do it brown or something. But...
Yeah, no. Morgan +4, long door, 1998. 97 +8s, that's got the old Land Rover V8 inside it, which everyone loves the burble on.
Yeah, definitely.
We got the original, the reintroduced freewheeler, so that came out in 2012. Always remember being at Geneva, they had the one with all the RAF decals, the bullet holes along the sides and everything else. Funny enough, the car wasn't running. They got it complete and on the stand, but it wasn't actually a drivable car. And there's a couple of interesting stories there, because BMW were quite close with their own stand, and there was a lot of BMW executives walking along, obviously going to various meetings, and at one point there was a couple of them came onto the stand and said only Morgan could get away with doing this while it was at Geneva. This has been a complete and utter success, over 2,500 built. The factory expected to have built 300. It's got an S&S V-twin, sounds like a stage 2 Harley. So, and this one's got exhaust wrap on. If you drive them at night without the exhaust wrap and you've been driving a while, the front exhaust pipes glow red, so you actually think it's alive.
So I guess could that get you in trouble with sort of the obviously red lights at the back of cars? And,
No. It's like a dull red. So and you can see, depending on how you rev it, how much it glows. But
that's very cool.
When you're driving at 30 mile an hour, you feel as if you're doing 90. It really does hit the senses that way.
Is that the secret to the success, do you think? Because people want they want these fun weekend cars where you're not going to get in trouble.
Yeah, you can have a lot of fun and keep to the speed limits, and the same with the traditional ones. You can use them in that way, whereas there's certain other sports cars out there, unless you go on track and absolutely blag them around the track, you can't really appreciate the engineering that's in them. Whereas these, it's a bit like a classic car from the 60s in many respects, but with the modern reliable running gear, which makes the difference.
Yeah.
Here is a Morgan Roadster, another 3.7 with the Mustang engine. This is a later version. Was originally our demonstrator, and then our trim shop was let loose on it. I basically said to Shaun, do what you like to it on the inside. I had already wanted to put the turned aluminium dash panels in because that gave it a real 1930s feel. And then he did the elasticated door pockets, the inner panels up on the side screens, the neck rolls, centre console, steering column cowl. Basically let Shaun loose on it.
Yeah, he's gone to town, hasn't he?
Yes. Just wait till he does Lotus seats and stuff and what he talks you into having. It's quite funny. A little 4.4 Sport, 1600. 2008, Morgan actually went over to... you couldn't have a bespoke model anymore. You had it in basically six to 10 colours. They initially did 6, then they extended the colour range, and it either came with black or tan interior. Only came with black wheels. If you wanted stainless wheels, you had to buy a +4. So this was like an entry-level one, around about the 30k mark, and we used to sell loads of these. Yeah. Launched at Prescott, so that was the time I actually managed to get up and go up the hill at Prescott, which was quite fun. Got the little 4.4 in silver with the blue interior, so you always see different colour combinations. When you order a new car, you've got a choice of 50,000 colours, and you originally used to be about 40 different leathers. It's now about 18 that you can then choose from. And then obviously if people come in for retrims, then we can do many colours that you want. Rather nice Exceed 380 Sport. This one's done 7,000 miles in the red with the carbon fibre details as well.
That's lovely. Yeah, I did do a at least 350 on the channel a few months ago, and they're intense. They're good fun.
So
yeah, very nice.
And this Esprit came in yesterday, and 1982, one of about 800 that was built, and was originally supplied to Hong Kong. Chap bought it in 2000 with 13,000 genuine miles on the clock, and rebuilt it at that time. By all accounts, there's a Territories Road at the back end of Hong Kong, at the north end, and a lot of people take their supercars and plug them around there at 3 o'clock in the morning along this bit of road. I've been told it's only about 10 miles long, this section of road, but they all go flying down there. Oh yeah, yeah. I wonder if I think I've seen a few YouTube videos actually in Hong Kong. It must be on the road that you mentioned. There's a few guys who've got some special cars. It's quite nice when you've got two red ones like that, where you can see back in the 80s, and then the later 2017 example. Yeah. So there's one of those jet engines that you can hear. Yeah, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but yeah, there's a lot going on here, isn't there? Yes. So that's all the showroom sale cars, I guess. That's actually that's workshop showroom. Under the canopy here, I can have 4 cars under here. Yeah. The little stain that you can see on the floors where we do the breakfast club once a month at the big first Saturday of the month. You're always welcome. It's for all our customers and enthusiasts, so it doesn't matter if you've got a Morgan or a Lotus. Some people think, oh, it's mainly a Morgan event. No, it's not. It's for Lotus. If you've got an old Triumph, TR3 or whatever, MGs, doesn't matter. If you're a motoring enthusiast, come along. We do bacon rolls from 9:30 till 10 o'clock, and then there's usually a theme talk that lasts about an hour. I'm doing one in November, but we have guest speakers and all sorts. Yes, the Land Rover is actually the MD's brother's car. We did the interior's interested in this because we did the interior in this one. Oh wow, yeah. Not quite your normal Land Rover. That's special. That's very special. You've got the sort of, I don't know what to call these, the sort of 2-layer, 2-tone leather. Yeah, 2-tone leather, contrast stitching. That's very special. So, and the breakfast clubs, I've been to one, and they're free, aren't they? And, it's definitely fantastic. Free. Sort of to have some sort of venue for enthusiasts like that. Yeah, obviously with the big car park that we've got out here, we fill up. We can have anything from 20 people up to about 90. I think the most we've had is about 100 people all in one go, and then the cars are abandoned all over the place. And some people bring quite some interesting vehicles, so it's always nice to have a bit of a wander around. So, but yeah, we'd love more people to come along. We've got 3 of the lockups here. And then the new workshop. And then the new workshop. What you'll find under here, though, you'll quite like this. All right. Oh, yes. So we have a +2. Wow. So that one's in for work. Carburettor work's being done on that one. +2 is high up my list of potential classics. Very high up the list.
Very nice Elise.
Elise, yeah.
Yeah. Sort of mid-2000s, I'm guessing.
That's going to be around 2008, 2009. Yeah. And last but not least, we found another one.
And we've got can we open the name stock as well? But that was quite a nice sort of burgundy red.
Yes.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the old British Leyland maroon. We've had a three-wheeler done in that colour, which obviously was on Morris Minors and things like that back in the day. A bit similar to the Maserati that the old Minis used to have. The maroon B they refer to it as. That will look quite nice if they do it in the same colour.
Yeah.
It is going to be repainted.
Nice.
So this is the new building. So this was open in May last year.
Yeah.
So the trim shop and the workshop then moved into here, which gave me the extra showroom space. So I refer to as being over on the dark side now, where the guys are in the nice light side.
Yeah, this is a fantastic facility and very modern inside. Well, we'll have a look around in a minute.
Yep.
And, you're saying it's really well insulated as well. It makes a big difference.
Yes, obviously during the heat wave that we had last year, the guys were actually shutting the doors to keep the heat out, even though there's no air conditioning in there. And even again during the winter, it does remain remarkably warm, so we don't have to have the heating on that much at all. So, which is great. There's solar panels on the roof. Fencing all down the side is acoustic fencing, which was added to please the neighbours. But yes, that's, as you can see, it's quite chunky, but it does absorb quite a bit of sound. And then a couple of our loan cars that we've got here at the moment.
It's a proper facility. Yeah. So
Just be careful of the step.
Yep.
So this is trim shop, so they've got two sections. They've got the lower section down here, as well as storage facilities and benches upstairs as well. So they do a lot of marking out, templating upstairs, there's all sorts of equipment up there. We do a lot of stuff from scratch. So here you can see there's neck rolls being made up. This seat's being manufactured over that side, and the inserts that go into some carbon fibre seats. The Esprit's in the process of having a full interior.
Yeah, as I remember, the Esprits do have a lot of trim on all the dash, and it's all matching trim, isn't
and the screen has to all come out to be able to do the dashboard.
Yeah.
So this is quite an involved job.
Yeah, and I guess a lot of the work will probably be on Lotus and Morgan's, but you do all sorts, you say, and that's a lot of bespoke stuff as well?
Yes, a lot of bespoke stuff, anything from a 260Z Datsun that had a roof chop done on it. The car just arrived with no roof or anything on it, and Shaun actually made the hood up from scratch. With that, and making all the framework to go with it. We do a lot of pre-war Astons, and we do old Rollsies and stuff like that as well. Yeah. So there's a fair number of pre-war vehicles that come in. Just so happens you've got a couple of later Lotuses at the minute. The M100's had a hood, so that's there, and Morgan's had trim work done on it as well.
Are there many places, sort of competitors that do this type of work?
Less so these days. It is a bit of a dying art, really. There's a few people dotted around the country, but there's not as many as you'd think there may be. Yeah. Obviously, we've got loads of leather up on the side there, so we did manage to get a number of the Lotus hides that. When they had a clear out a couple of years ago, we actually bought those hides off of Lotus. Okay. So there's some of the more unusual colours. We do have some of those. Yeah.
So this is Shaun in the trim shop. Thanks a lot for showing me what goes on.
That's okay.
So we do all sorts of bespoke stuff, and
we do
all makes. And
Phil was telling me it's kind of like a dying art in a way. It's sort of skills that
it is. Yeah. There's very few people that doing it or the people that do it these days, they're very few and far between. You tend to find sort of areas of coach trimming in particular sort of clustered around some of the major manufacturers like Rolls-Royce and Aston Martins and people like that, wherever they were, those cars were manufactured, you tend to find this sort of trade clustered around those areas, and obviously Morgan as well, up in Malvern and where have you. A lot of people are either Astons, ex-Rolls-Royce, or like George is our own apprentice, and he sort of stayed on. So
that's great. And you're doing full refurb on the Esprit at the moment.
That's right. Yeah, it's having a full retrim, various other bits and pieces as well. It's got quite a few electrical faults with it. The doors weren't particularly fitting very well at all, so I've had to adjust all the gaps and the window frames as well because they've been fitted badly. Which took days and days to get them just so they just shut perfectly. We're there now, but it's been a bit of a labour of love, that one. It's been ongoing because every little bit has had to be fitted meticulously, carefully to make sure it fits precisely. It's still not perfect because the car itself's a bit abused, if you like.
Well, but they didn't come out of the factory perfect anyway.
No, they didn't. No, but
what you were just saying, it's the attention to detail and the.
That's right.
You must be a perfectionist.
It's vital. If you don't pay particular attention to what you're doing, it will never work out absolutely perfect. So we go down to the last millimetre to make sure it's absolutely perfect. Otherwise, it won't look very nice at all. You see it wherever you go. We do, whenever any of us go to car shows or that, we're mega critical about other people's work. I'm sure they're the same about us. You tend to spot mistakes before you.
That's what you're trained to do, isn't it? To spot But I've seen some of the examples at the work around some of the cars here, like the Land Rover was one, and
the Defender. That was quite a few years ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago we did that.
There's lots of examples of great work, and I mentioned to Phil, I've got an MX-5 with. Just pure black leather seats.
Okay.
And I really love my Evora's suede seats. Got like leather on the side, but suede in the middle.
Alcantara.
I was sort of curious about you can change a section of a seat for.
You can do
any brand. Is that a big job or?
It depends on the seat. It depends on how complex the seat is. If you go something like, for example, let's take a Recaro, just a shot in the dark there. Some of the Recaros have got quite a few segments within the seat, sort of like little orange segments or little pieces of leather, and it's more fiddly than anything, so therefore it's more time consuming. If you get something that's mass produced, let's pick on say a Ford or something like that, where they've got, when you look at a seat, they're in 3 major component parts when you look at the surface of the seat. So you'll have a centre section, which is typically a coloured material, and then you get the 2 bolster sides, which are quite often a leather or a vinyl or something like that. So you're looking at 3 pieces, that type of thing. It's easy to change, easy to repair, but then, as I said, you go to something like a Recaro that's got multiple different segments in it. It's all doable, it just takes more time, that's all.
And do you tend to do sort of prevention work in terms of, like, if someone's got a little tear, is it best to do it?
We can do. You're better off if you start to see material tearing. You want to get that sorted before it gets further or deeper into the foam, because if you leave it, then you tend to find the foam gets damaged, and quite often the foam will chafe out on the seat shell or the seat frame itself, because quite often they're made of metal and they've got sharp edges, and quite often it starts to work its way and eat its way. Typical sign of that is when you look on the floor underneath the seat, you'll see a yellow powdery substance. That's the foam that's being chewed out, and it just disintegrates. And similarly, when you get that split in the seat, it can actually start to damage the foam. But again, even that far down the road, it's still repairable. You can actually just repair segments of foam by using the same density type of foam. So, it's all doable.
Just a bigger job.
Absolutely.
You do some fantastic things around it. It's really interesting to see it. So thanks for showing me around.
That's all right. You're welcome.
This is what I was most excited about, actually. So I used to work at my dad's garage as a teenager, and this feels like a very familiar place, but a lot more modern.
So at the far side we've got our single lane MOT testing. So as I say, we remained an MOT test station, and we've gone over to single lane, so you don't need to have an assistant. So there was all new equipment that went in there. This ramp came over from the other side, but otherwise it was all new ramps that went in. So inside here, obviously, we've got 2 Super Frees that are in for service and repair work. Little Land, that's one of our sales cars, which is having a little bit of attention done. The M100 has got an injector problem, so we've had the injectors taken out. They're away being tested at the moment because he had some spare ones, and we're hoping to make a good set of 4 out of the 8 that's available to us.
Yeah, this is the Isuzu engine, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So you must work with quite a variety of engines. Actually, you've got the Toyotas, Fords.
Yeah.
Obviously Isuzu.
BMW ones. Obviously Lotus's own with the Esprits, and obviously the V8 ones as well.
The twin cam.
This is going to be revamped, so this is a job for November, December, where the parts store is going to be sorted properly. This was just moved over within 5 days when the guys moved from the old workshop to the new workshop. I timed my holiday that year really, really well because I missed a lot of it, but it was very freaky going over the other side and finding no one's there, no ramps or anything. So, so the obviously you got the Super Free. So that's a really nice specification one. It's in rhodium silver. Front clam of an S.
111R.
S2.
And I suppose with the Elises and the Evora, some of the work does involve taking off front and rear clams, and I guess that adds a lot of
it can do.
hours to the job.
It can add a bit to it. Yeah.
Is it more the kind of realigning it when you're putting it back on and stuff like that, the tricky bit, or?
Not really, because you tend to have the shims and stuff that the guys will remove, and they'll know where the shims were, and then they'll just double check that. And again, occasionally somebody may have had one off in the past, and we'll actually improve the fit when it then goes back on. Because you actually find that doesn't quite sit right. Obviously, with being used to the Morgans, where everything you have to make fit, because you don't just take a panel and buy it and then it sticks on like you would do any other regular car. We're quite used to just doing that jiggling around to get things to fit properly. The one to the side here is quite rare, so that's an Aero Super Sport. That's around £170,000 worth.
Oh, wow. I thought I was going to guess Aero 8 because I had kind of forgotten about that.
Normal Aero 8 front end, but then when you look at the back, it's got it's got Targa roof panels that come out.
Yeah, the very distinctive rear end.
Yeah. So it's a little bit Aero Max-ish, but Max-ish, but not quite. So yes, quite a rare beastie. Unfortunately, that had suffered serious mouse damage. So where it's been stored, mice like wiring. I'd like to have a nice little munch on that. So obviously, if you've got your car stored away, just be a little bit careful about rodents getting in, because they tend to like wiring, seat belts, or hood or seat material, and they'll like a nice little munch on those if they can.
Yeah, that's a little preview of your talk.
A little preview of the talk on November. Won't say anything more, otherwise it'll be a very short talk.
Well, there's a chance I won't get this edited by then, so. And obviously the best car here, Evora S.
Yeah.
Very well looked after by Allon White since I've had it. Just service and MOT. I thought it was going to be the C service today, which is the big one with all the fluids, but it's a 4-year cycle, not a 3-year cycle. So
you'll have a slightly cheaper bill this year then.
I will.
That's good.
Hopefully.
We do try.
So I'm hoping to have a look underneath later as well when it's up. But we'll come back and check how that's going.
I'll just show you out around this side.
Oh yeah.
So there's a number of cars down here. So again, at Breakfast Club, if you can't get in the main car park.
Oh yeah.
We park them up all along here as well.
Yeah. Can you come in this way?
Yes, there's an entrance down the far end as well.
This is what was confusing me earlier, which entrance to use, but okay. Yeah. So you can use both entrances.
Yep.
Yeah, plenty of space. Yeah, thanks again, Phil. We'll maybe grab a cup of tea or something, and I'll come back and see how the Evora's doing later. Yep.
entirely black.
No, it's actually still quite golden, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah. I've done about, I think I've done about 6,000 miles.
That's nothing.
So yeah, yeah. Obviously, it's good to get it checked over every year.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if a beautiful beast like this.
You must get to test drive a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, nice. Better when they've got like a nice little exhaust on them or something.
Oh yeah.
Sound better then.
Yeah, this one has.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I noticed it when I started it up. I was like, oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, the sound is quite important to me. I don't care about performance really. I mean, it's nice to have the power it's got, but
What's it like on fuel?
I haven't measured it properly, but the computer says 27, 28, so it's not ridiculous. And then if you're on the motorway, it's low 30s.
Yeah. A couple of things we noticed on the MOT.
Oh,
Your drive shaft, if you can see it, is leaking grease all the way out the corner.
Oh, right.
Let me get a torch to see if it's easier.
Okay. So I didn't realise I'd done the MOT already.
Pardon?
I didn't realise I'd done it already.
Yeah, I did it earlier. So all the grease is starting to come out of the CV joint just there.
Okay.
But the thing is, though, it is technically on. It's just for some reason it's just leaking out. So I don't know if you've had any work done on the rear of this or anything at all, or.
Not around there, no.
No.
It's just been the exhaust.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've changed on it.
The only other thing is that drop link's got play in it at the top. So if you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had the front ones done last year.
Yeah, I think the rear ones want doing now.
Yeah.
And then just a couple of other things. Your front and rear pads are about 70% worn now, and your discs are pretty much at what I call a limit of like corrosion. So obviously you've got drilled discs. As you can see in the inner side of the disc, the drill holes are pretty much missing now because they're all full of soot and everything like that, and they're all corroded up.
Yeah.
So you're probably about ready for disc and pads all round, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of expecting that because I thought I think they're original brakes.
Yeah.
So they've done well.
I was about to say, I think you've done very well in that respect. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I'm bringing it back in to get the gear linkage upgraded.
Oh, okay.
Because it's quite a bit of play in the standard one.
Yeah.
Compared to the later cars.
Okay.
So I'm going to get that work done, and I guess assuming it's past the MOT.
Yeah. So everything that if the car has passed, it's just all advisories.
Okay,
admittedly, this one's like get it done as soon as possible because technically it shouldn't leak any grease out at all.
Yeah. Don't back into this Morgan. So that's it. The A service and MOT done. No extra jobs today. A few advisories, as you saw underneath. Rear drop links. Drive shaft gaiter and the discs and pads getting close, so they've done well. They're the originals, but my plan is to come back in about a month's time. Is to come back in a month's time anyway to do another job. So I'm going to get the Kinetic gear shift mechanism at the front and get Allon White to fit it, because I could have a go, but I won't get it set up anywhere near as well as a properly trained mechanic. So if you've seen James' video on this car, you'll know the gear shift is a weak point of the early Evoras really, and even the post-model year 12. I mean, it works fine. I rarely miss a gear, but there's a bit of play in the mechanism, so I want this car to be as good as it can be, so I'm going to try the upgrade, and at the same time I'll get the advisory things done. So ready for next spring for some more road trips and stuff. But yeah, for now I'm heading off to Caffeine and Machine, the new one, the bowl, named after the Millbrook Bowl, which is it's pretty close by. But yeah, it's only a few miles from Allon White, so I thought head over there for lunch, meet the new wife, and see what it's like there. All that's left to say then is a huge thank you to Allon White, to everyone there for giving me their time today and showing me around. Some really interesting stuff going on there. Obviously, particular thanks to Phil, Shaun, and Nathan, and for answering my stupid questions. So yeah, I look forward to going back again. Appreciate all they've done for the car the last few years. keeping it in good shape for me to enjoy it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. Head off to C&M, check out the new venue. Thanks again to Allon White. Don't forget their breakfast meetings if you're in the area. Well worth the trip, to be honest. Free bacon roll, need I say more? And an interesting talk. So yeah, thanks again, and please subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. There we go, and there's Kath in the Mazda before we tuck it away for the winter and start using the new winter banger, which more on that soon.